welcome back to Everybody Has a Story 716 edition. As promised, we got Wednesday's Women's, and who I got here today?
Hey y'all, my name is Terciana. I am the owner of Forever Lasting Jewelry and Forever Lasting Experience. Thank you for having me today.
Yes,
Diamond.
thank you for being here, y'all. Listen, when I tell y'all, my girl a little bit hard to catch up with, but when you catch up with her, baby, it's worth it. Okay.
Just know.
Listen, I know. Listen, people don't know about you. Listen, I met you when I was what? 14, 15?
Yeah, we were teenagers.
We was teenagers, very young. And, one thing I always just kind of like noticed about you, you were always just the sweetest. When I say the sweetest, the sweetest at a very young age. And you always just had like this hustling spirit about you. Yes. I don't know if you remember, but we can take it back a minute.
We want to go all the way
back. Let's take it back.
Yes.
Listen, I think I had to been a teenager still. And y'all, this is when Uggs was lit. Listen, Uggs was lit. Yes, okay.
Every pair.
And when I say every pair.
No,
but one thing about Terciana, listen, I looked down at her Uggs. I was like, there was some cheetah print Uggs. Mm-hmm. Some cheetah print Uggs. I'm like, oh, that is so cute. She was like, you want them? Like, like
everything to go.
Everything. Listen, she's like, you want them? I'm like, yeah. But you know what I think I did at this time? I think I did Joe Lashes. Mm-hmm. So I think I did like Joe Lashes and gave you like $20 or $30 or something for the Uggs for a swap. But I just back then,
yes,
a hustler spirit. Yes, like always been a hustler. So matter of fact, first of all, what high school did you go to?
City Honor.
You went to City Honor. Yeah. Okay, and you graduated when?
2013.
2013. That's good. Because you got a couple of siblings as well, right?
I do. I have two sisters, one older, one younger.
Right. And so you are the middle child. Mm-hmm. Y'all know what they say about the middle child?
What they say?
I don't know. So you're going to have to Google it. Let me know. You're going to have to let me know. Well, given you grew up in a two-parent household, or you grew up in a two-parent household?
Yeah, mom and dad. They've been together since they were teenagers.
Wow.
So they are going on 33, 34 years.
Shout out to mama and daddy. That is 34 years of marriage.
Yes, 34 years. Yeah.
That's the stuff we love to like try to see or try to get ourselves to just be like, that's what I want. It's very rare, yeah. So like, did you come up like in a Christian background? Or?
Yes. I used to go to church every Sunday and Bible study with my grandmother. As a kid, you don't really appreciate it because it's other stuff that you rather be doing.
Right.
Right. But looking back, I do appreciate my upbringing. Really, it's just indescribable, to be honest. Like to have that community, and even now, like as somebody in their 30s, like when I pass by people that I went to church with, like they always remember me as Sister Katie's granddaughter,
right.
Sister Randall's granddaughter. So it's like just having that upbringing is a part of my story that I'm very proud of.
Yeah, and you know what? Like I grew up the same way. I grew up in a very Christian home. Sunday school, afternoon service. What was it? Thursdays you would go for Bible study. So, but
ours was Wednesdays. But one day out the week, and and that Sunday.
And that Sunday you were there, and that's how we grew up. And again, like you say, you can appreciate it because as a Christian, when we fall short, we know how to get back up. Yeah. And if it wasn't taught to you to get back up or to pray or to repent, those things won't be instilled in you and stuff like that. It's kind of like as a Christian, walking a Christian life, the Bible, forgiveness, repent, all of those things. It goes hand in hand. Yeah. So you was a good girl coming up.
I had some good ways about me. I did know right from wrong. Sometimes I chose wrong over right, but it just was, I was doing what I wanted to do,
Yeah. Because back
unapologetically.
Then, back then you had them on you. But you were very mature for your age, so you always carried yourself in a very mature way. Like you were very calm. You was never loud. You wasn't with the fighting or the drama.
No.
She just wanted to sell people stuff. But look at her now. Got her own establishment, you know.
Yes, everything pays off.
It does. So growing up in a Christian home and you having 2 parents in the household and you the middle child, you got 3 siblings. In your teenage years, where did you kind of see like the transition of just kind of like going into, you know, being a young adult from going to being a teenager?
I think the real transition happened when I started making my own money. Like I really feel like that's where my real story began from a girl into a young adult. I used to work summer youth. I remember my mom, she was like, and this was back when you was getting them little stipends. Like you would probably only make like $100. For what? It was like really like free labor for real when you think about it. But back then it was like $100 could go so far. You know what I'm saying? So I remember I worked summer youth and I was working at ECMC for summer youth and our paychecks was like $100. My mom was like, you're gonna put half away into a bank account. We went down to the credit union, opened up an account, and she was like, and then you could spend the other half. And I was pissed because first of all, what is $50? I'm like, what am I gonna do with $50? Like, you know, I really was not messing with it. I'm like, I can't do that much with $50. So she didn't care though, because you know, moms really understand, like, okay, I'm laying a foundation, like you putting this money away. You don't like it right now, but later on you're gonna be thankful that, you know, you did. And I was really thankful. So, you know, my $50 kept keep adding up. I think I was spending my $50, but the other half that I was depositing into the bank, it just kept going up and up. And I was like, oh shoot, like I got money.
You got money,
yeah,
right?
Like, you know, one week it's $100, and then the next week is $150, and then it just keep going up from there. I think summer youth was all of 6 to 8 weeks or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
But what I did with some of my $50 that I was able to spend, I remember I had bought some beaded earrings from my cousin. And I was so hype about them. I think they cost like $65. So for me, that's like,
I remember the beaded area.
Yes. So that was like 2 checks for me. And I was like, okay, you know, so I'm like, these back then, if you spent your money on something, it was supposed to last forever.
Yeah.
Forever.
Not right.
Eternity,
you know? Yeah, keep seeing it every day.
So I bought those earrings from her. When I tell you, like, I didn't even have them like 2 weeks and the beads started turning. And I was like, what the heck is going on? But I really loved the design. You know, back then jewelry was really like, you was a it girl if you had jewelry.
Hello.
Like, you know, that had all the rings.
You know, come
on.
Like
you was that girl back in the day. So I was like, hold on, these can't be turning that fast. Like, and there's no refund. So it's like, so what I ended up doing was learning how to make beaded jewelry. And that's how I ended up. Sorry, we got to pause. Okay. So, yes. So, once the beads had started turning, I was like, and I loved the design and everything. And I just really liked the earrings. Like, I really loved the earrings. And that's when I had started making my own beaded jewelry. So I started doing research. I started figuring out, like, okay, you know, you have to give these materials and some
doing the real footwork.
Yes, yeah. And that's really where my story really began, because I'm like, okay, I was telling my mom, like, okay, I want to do this. This was back in the day where you had to have credit cards to buy stuff online.
Yeah.
I know it's a different era now. You can have like Cash App, whatever. But back then, like, I had to run it by my mom because she had to order the stuff. So put all the stuff in the cart, and then I was making them or whatever. Was looking up YouTube videos on how to make them. And then I still had the pair because I wanted to mimic the same pattern.
Okay, yeah.
So just started making them, and then people started asking me, like, oh, I like your earrings. Like, where you get them from? I'm like, I made them. You know, it was something I was very proud of. I'm like, I made these.
Yeah.
And they was like, oh, can you make me a pair? Can you make me a pair? So I was like, yeah, absolutely.
And there it goes. It took right off.
Took off. So from then I started making people earrings, and they was calling me back like, these earrings is tarnishing. And I'm like, what? So I don't know. I already spent, I made the stuff, I got the money, spent the money. Right. So I'm like, what the heck? Now I gotta give the people the money back because that's my integrity. Like I would never sell nobody, because I felt hurt when I had got the earrings that tarnished. Right. I don't think my cousin knew that they were doing that. Yeah. So just based on my integrity, I was like, okay, I gotta give these people their money back. But it's like now the money is not coming from me; it's coming from my mom. Yeah, because I done already spent the money that they gave me. Right. So, fast forward, my mom was like, okay, just you got to put a stop to this right now, because you got to come up with a business plan. And you really have to hone in. If this is what you want to do, you have to hone in, because it's costing you money. Mm-hmm. Like, and now you're working for free. And now you owing people money back. Mm-hmm. So we took a pause for maybe about a month or so, came up with a business plan, and I came back to her and I was like, okay, Ma, I'm going to charge the people half up front and then the other half when it's done. Okay. So my reasoning for doing that is like, I'm going to charge them half because I'll use their money to order the materials. Okay, correct. And then the other half will be my profit. Yes. You get what I'm saying? Deliver them. So it works out cool because, for some orders, you'll have a little bit extra inventory left, and you might be able to make the next person, and it'll make the turnaround time go by faster. So I'm really learning at this time about like supply and demand. I'm learning about, honesty and integrity. Yeah. I'm just learning so much like in a short period of time, because I'm like, how would you feel if somebody did that to you? You know what I'm saying? So ever since then, I was like taking the orders. I was getting half of the deposit in advance and then the other half on the back end, and that structure worked. So your parents just gave you first of all, a great support system. Mm-hmm, absolutely. Great. Got to give it to them. And they just gave you a chance to actually do what you wanted to do. Yeah, shout out to them parents for sure. To express yourself, because you're very young at this age. I remember when you were selling them. I was 14. I was 14 when I remember when you were selling them. But again, it goes to show, the great support system you had, and your parents instilled in you the real meaning behind business, Absolutely. And that's no, dig to no one that's starting a business, because starting a business is hard. It's very hard. It's hard. And if you don't have a team, if you're just doing something and you like on Google, you are going to run into so many trial and errors. And the good thing about you didn't give up. No, I didn't give up. At your age, being like, because the backlash is a lot. The backlash as an adult can be a lot. Yeah. So to have the overwhelming, the backlash, people talking about you, people wanting their money back and stuff like that, you ain't allow it to bring you down. And that's something that's clearly that just always been in you to never give up. And it was a different era back then too, though, might I add, because I think we was on MySpace back then. You know what I'm saying? MySpace wasn't so much. It was more so like a popularity contest, but it wasn't so much what people do on Facebook now. Like, if somebody did bad business, they on there bashing you. You only get one shot these days. You get one shot now. Yeah. But at the same time, too, that one shot, because we can talk about how even just getting here. And you could turn it around, though. Like, anything can be turned around. Even if somebody say something about you on Facebook, like, as long as your core value is integrity at the end of the day, like, sometimes people be too proud to apologize, like, or admit that they messed up. It's okay. It comes with the game. Like, as long as you try, congratulations. Right, you know? Like, some people don't even try. Like, some people be stuck on Idea Island. And won't ever push. Never. Won't ever push. Yeah, won't even put the ideas down on paper. Yeah. And so you just always been, business minded. Yeah. And literally, because I'm sitting in your beautiful establishment. Thank you. So now as an adult, because if I'm not mistaken, you got a couple degrees up under your belt. I do. So it's funny because when I had went to high school, I feel like college was not really in my plans, but it wasn't an option to not go to college.
Yeah.
It was in my parents' plans. So it's like, okay, you're going to college. I've always been like a scholar at heart, like a student at heart, always wanted to learn, always, was just thinking about just growth and elevation. But I didn't really know what I wanted to do. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go for liberal arts.
Yeah.
My dad was like, that's not a real thing. Which,
okay,
no shade, if somebody doesn't know what direction to go in, I don't think liberal arts is bad because you are getting, your prereqs out the way.
Yeah.
You getting all of those stepping stones before or until you figure out where you want to go. So I don't think that was bad. But I ended up being a business administration major with a concentration in management.
All right.
So I ended up going to I originally went to Fredonia for my undergrad. Started undergrad at Fredonia. Shout out to my cousin Dominic. He went to Fredonia. I think when I was gonna be entering in, I was a freshman. He would have been a senior, but he was RA, so he was a residential assistant, and then he ended up elevating to a residential director. So he really was one of the people who really inspired me and pushed me to like go to college and finish college, So, and I always looked up to him like as a kid. Like they used to always make jokes because Dominic is like 3 years older than me, and then my sister and my cousin Amber, they are 2 years younger than me. So like back then when you are younger, that 2 and 3 years is like a big deal.
It's a big difference.
It separates, the big kids from the little kids.
Right,
right. And I was always in the middle. I didn't really have nobody coming up around me. So it's just like, okay, I wanted to hang with the big kids, because the little kids was at least 3, 4, 5 years younger.
Right.
So they used to always make jokes or whatever, but ended up going to Fredonia. Actually, I started in business finance, and then when I transferred to Buff State, where I completed my undergrad, I ended up finishing class of 2016, but I walked for class of 2017 just because I graduated in December.